Next session is about the Academy for Small Newsrooms. I'm joined by Ika, Mite, and Mallick. I hope I'm saying your names correctly. So these three participants were part of our Academy for Small Newsrooms, which took part earlier this year. They were part of either the EMEA, so Europe, Middle East, Africa cohort, or the APAC, Asia Pacific cohort. And on the program on the academy, rather, it's a training program where we try to help small newsrooms leverage the power of artificial intelligence. And so we select about 20 newsrooms per cohort, and they run through various live sessions with various experts from around the world over a 6 weeks period, where they sort of get to learn how they could implement AI or leverage the power of AI in their newsrooms. And so joining me today are some of those participants to represent the cohort that we've had this year. And I want to start off by perhaps Ika, starting with you, sharing a bit about the conversation in Indonesia, what you guys do there, and how you guys have been sort of leveraging AI in your newsroom, or how you're thinking of leveraging AI in your newsroom.
Okay, thank you, Tshepo. Hi, everyone. I'm Ika from Indonesia. It's actually way past my bedtime. It's already night in Indonesia. So yeah. The Conversation Asia is actually part of the global network, the conversation. And we do focus on work on helping scientists and academics to sort of share their analysis to the public. So that's basically what we do. And with AI, actually, when the Conversation Asia participate in the Journalism AI Academy, we had the opportunity to join this challenge, AI Journalism Challenge, organized by Open Society Foundation at the time. And we sent our proposal and got elected. And from there, we developed this kind of project where we use AI to sort of optimize our work, journalism work, actually. And at the time, we built a microsite and we made into the top 5 finalists. We presented our project during a Splice Beta event in Chiang Mai. And basically, that's how we try to sort of what I gathered from the Journalism AI Academy. I had the opportunity, I'm lucky to have the opportunity to sort of put all the theories and knowledge that I had from the academy and put into practice to this challenge. And yeah, we made it that far, but yeah, there are so many challenges that probably and lesson learned that I can share later on during the process, because it's not easy for the Conversation Indonesia as part of the network in terms of, like, first of all, policy. Like, we haven't really had the policy clear yet to sort of how we can use AI within the global network. And this is something that is still an ongoing discussion within our network. It's not done yet, but I think as a small newsroom, like the Conversation Asia is, I believe, like the smallest one in the network. We believe on how we can leverage AI to optimize our work, like given with the limited resources and fund that we have. I think that's all from me now, Tshepo.
Awesome, thanks, Ika. Mite, I want to come to you now. Tell us about the work that you guys do, and how are you guys thinking of leveraging AI? Just unmute yourself. There we go.
I hope now you can hear me.
We can hear you.
Okay. Hi to everyone. Hi, Mite, and thank you, Tshepo. And
Mite,
Yep.
are you able to take the volume up a bit?
Yep, sure. Are you right now?
I think it's much better, yeah.
Now, better.
No, the sound is not clear anymore.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Yes, the sound is okay. Just take the volume just slightly up.
Okay, I will try to speak louder if that's I don't know, something microphone might have some issues. So thanks, Tshepo and the others for invitation to speak about my experiences during the academy and what we do. We are a small newsroom based mostly on audio-visual storytelling, and we have tried to experiment with AI since 2019, when we tried to use machine learning to detect corruption behavior for public procurement by the institution. Unfortunately, that was not a successful project that we tried to do. But anyway, it was our first thing that we have experience with machine learning and artificial intelligence. Then the academy was a great way to kind of steer our focus where we should try and leverage AI. As a small newsroom, we don't have a lot of resources, and that's one of the let's say disadvantage when you are a small newsroom. But on the other side, the good advantage of the small newsroom is that you can really decide to make quick actions. And from the academy, we learned that it's good to focus on something that can be adapted rather than build it from scratch. And those are the things that we are now focusing on mostly. I mean, despite beside the usual use of AI that most of the newsroom, as you said, are using in the findings from the report. One of the things that we are trying to do right now and to secure funding for that, we are, I think, close to secure the funding, is to make a work on top of the Whisper 2 model, that is speech-to-text model developed by OpenAI, and try to make it to work with the Macedonian language. This is really important for us because we are audiovisual storytelling newsroom, and we have tons of materials that needs to be transcribed. And we work mostly with underreported stories, with marginalized community, and every second that we are going to save on transcribing is really important for us to actually put our time to tell these stories. So right now, it's as we understand, the Whisper AI is good for Macedonian language, but can predict around 85% of the speech. The normal human hearing is about 95% of the speech. If human is transcribing is going to transcribe. So we are missing those 10%, which is not an easy job to and task to do it. And I'm not sure whether we're going to do it, but at least we want to try to tweak it and put it in our use. If it's that successful, then we want to make it as a tool for any journalist in Macedonia speaking Macedonian language to use it afterwards. So this is where we are right now.
Awesome, thanks, Mite. From Indonesia to Macedonia, and now we head over to Southern Africa in Malawi. We have Mallick from iHubOnline. Mallick, I know you guys are doing some exciting things there at iHub. Can you sort of share a bit about how you guys leveraging the power of AI? Of course, also starting with what you guys do at iHubOnline for those who don't know.
All right, thank you very much, Tshepo. At iHub, we are now identifying as a media tech. Otherwise, we started as a news producer, an online news producer, but that was in the run-up to the 2019 elections in Malawi. So we had gained so much traction and we had large following on our social media platforms, but we lost leverage to social media influencers. Then we were still thinking about what to do. We went into live streaming, then there was COVID, we gained traction, then immediately after started facing business challenges again. Then when ChatGPT came in, we started exploring, and fortunately, I think we explored certain avenues where we could leverage on, and it wasn't until the academy when we started observing new insights, and fast forward to the present day, I can say we are really doing a lot of exciting projects where we have built several LLM-based applications. We are mostly a no-code platform, but of course we now working with support from Microsoft. We are now building more LLM-based and more code-based applications. So yeah, coming from a region that is local languages that are low resourced, that now has become our area of attention, because we believe that building tools that we can use, it's okay, but building tools that can assist our local journalism become vibrant is more beneficial for our cause, because like one of my colleagues said earlier on, during the academy, we were taught, or rather we were advised not to avoid building. But in our case, we've been forced to build because the tools that we had access to were not really needs. So we decided to start building from what we know was already out there, so that we learn the dynamics and the systems. And now the process is on localization.
Awesome, thanks, Mallick. Probably a question for all of you, because all of you are sort of starting out, and usually, at least from what we got from the report, is that it's difficult for small newsrooms to leverage technical expertise when you start working with AI. And I'm keen to understand what were you guys thinking in leveraging technical expertise in your team? Was it there already? If not, how did you go about getting it onto your team to make sure that what you're doing sort of has depth and progress? We can start with you, Mite.
Vika?
Yes. So actually, we are lucky enough, because like at the moment, we do have like technical help from our developers from Australia. And what I learned from the academy, that when doing AI project, you have to involve people with different skill set. So basically, that's what we are doing at the time. So they are people from editorial, and also the technological part, the developer, and as well the audience people and the data. So we sort of work together to come up this microsite. Basically, the microsite, it's sort of trying to repackage our content into a format that is more suitable for this particular target audience, the young audience. So basically, that's what we do. And with the help of this different people with different skills, it really enrich the process of getting this microsite really going. That's basically from what I've done with my team.
Mite?
We have, as I said, being a small newsroom is kind of like advantage when you need to take really fast steps. The only thing is that, like, whether you have the human resources and capacity to do that. And when you're working in a small newsroom, you need to understand that a lot of people, including journalists, they have more tasks than just normal, like, I'm a journalist and that's it. They need to think about other things, like, for example, how my story that I have just produced is going to be shared and published on other let's say social media, so adaptation and everything. So having this in mind, inside the newsroom, we have kind of like developed a culture that, like, is saying that, like, no matter what is your job, you really need to follow what is happening and what is the development in the world right now, especially when the AI becomes really important. In 2019, nobody actually when we tried to do something, nobody actually were speaking how we are going, especially here in Macedonia, since we are a small country, how we are going to use or what is going to happen when the AI will come. But we have learned that we can do a lot with no code, but at some point you really need to have a help for someone who can code, especially for small markets like us, where you really need an adaptation on every tool that you have outside there, and you can use it for free, yes, but unfortunately not for the small markets like Macedonia. So here we really need help from outside, because we don't have the capacity, and we don't have the financial means to have developers inside the newsroom. I mean, that would be perfect, but right now we are usually leaning on someone who wants to help, or if we secure some funds, we are going to pay someone to do freelance or outsource work. But we are really happy that there is a lot of enthusiasts out there who are happy to help. I mean, it's a learning process for them as well. It's a learning process for us, but this is how we are kind of overbridging the need of someone who understands coding and understands AI, and the capacity, especially the financial capacity that we are having right now.
Mallick, I saw you nodding a bit to some of Mite's points. How are you guys navigating the technical challenges aspect of having somebody on your team?
Yeah, I think most of the things that we can relate, I think, because we come from the same family of being small newsrooms. Indeed, collaboration is key, because when you have different domains coming together, like those from the technical side having the coding skills, us as journalists dominating in terms of how should the engineers shape their prompt engineering, it then that will result from the process. For instance, in our case, the idea for a particular product would come from us. Then initially we would sit down and brainstorm and do all that kind of thing. And once we have the idea, then the technical guys will sit down and start working on the prototype. And we saw that for the past nine months, technology has been iterating, and I think 3 months in, we the no code or low code platforms. Then we started shaping the idea with our own zero prototype, where we could use the natural language platforms to shape the idea that we want, and then ship it to engineering for them now to create something from code. Then they will come out with a product that reflects our needs as a newsroom. So with time now, we now work as a single team, whereby right from the beginning, when we are starting the conversation, we are starting together and we are moving together as a team all the way to a production of the final prototype.
Awesome, thanks, Mallick. I'm going to take a couple of questions after my questions. So if you have questions for our panel, please do send them through the Q&A, and I will pick those up after this. I want to come back, or still staying with the challenges aspect, really, besides the technical challenges, what are some of the challenges that you've experienced in navigating your AI journey as a small newsroom? Ika, we can start with you.
Okay, there's one thing that we really struggle actually at the time, is because it's sort of new things for us, for everyone in the team as well. So we sort of, with no clear policy in place, that's sort of another challenge that we had at the time. But there's one lesson that we gather at the time is the importance of human control, or what we usually call human oversight. So in the microsite, we try to generate content using AI via 3 formats. We try to summarize article into a very short bullet points style. And then we also try to turn the text into speech, like a podcast format, those kind of thing. But it also require a human, like the editor, checking again those content to make sure that they are really represent the real articles. That's another work that we have to do, but because we can't really completely, give it all to the technology to do all the work. And this is also relates to the discussion on how to get balance between, using AI, and also make sure that you keep your journalism principle intact, those kind of things. So there are also some people who are really cautious and very doubtful about how we can use AI, because they're pretty concerned with what the threat that AI may have. Like if we sort of use editors at the end, why don't we use the editors? Why don't we just use the editors, not the AI? Because given the risk that we have. But I don't know, given that our position as small newsroom, we don't have the luxuries of having too many editors doing different jobs, right? So that's one of the things that I'm trying to sort of make these people understand, actually having the benefit of using AI to sort of help the newsroom with the limited funds and resources to have this kind of space and tools, to be able to have the capacity to have the quality work that we can offer to the public as well.
Mallick, what are some of the challenges besides the technical that you guys are experiencing as you navigate this journey?
I think the most notable one right now that we are grappling with really is security and privacy concerns. We know from the experimentation that we've been doing for so long that in some cases we are using the RAG system, but then we are still skeptical, because most of the stuff that we are doing, we are learning, right? Just last week we have completed our first application using the recent assistance API system, which also uses the retrieval system. But then we have been engaged in conversations whereby we are talking about how secure is the data that we are sharing with those platforms, regardless of having those data, the information stored in databases. How secure is it? So, it's back and forth. It's secure, it's not secure. So we really do not know how we can measure the authenticity of which side of argument we should believe. So data safety and security is one of the key elements. Secondly, it's about, which is closely related to that one, is about security. So when we are at the back end, like most of the tools that we have built to be used by outsiders, for example, most of the tools that we have a way of monitoring whatever is happening on the other end. So from me as a user, I might have concerns with that kind of approach to working with an application. Of course, in our case, we have not yet deployed the applications for public use, but we are just thinking how best can we make this secure. But from the investigations that we have done so far, it appears that as the producers of the platforms, we still have to have access to whatever our users are up to. One, it's for security, for our own security and the like. But like I said earlier on, we are just new in this business, and we are only fortunate that we have been part of this program, which has linked us to, other people and opened doors for us to access certain advice that has helped us, gain the kind of experience that we have so far gained. But from an operational point of view, privacy concerns, security concerns, I think these are prominent. Until recently, we had resource constraints, but fortunately, we secured some kind of contribution from Microsoft, like I said earlier on, which means that we are no longer concerned with things such as credits. To some extent, we have. I think we have credits in abundance, which will help us to do a lot of testing. I think these were mostly the biggest challenges that we had, but now I think we are in a better place than we were at the start of the game.
Mite, how about you guys? What are some of those challenges that you guys are experiencing outside of the technical?
Well, obviously, many of them were touched by Ika and Mallick. One is the ethical one. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of questions regarding the intellectual property question, how we are dealing with that. And there is one question: is there anyone using AI in the production of news articles, and how you credit AI in those situations? I mean, we have editorial policy. We're now adapting the editorial policy with articles that are connected with AI. We are still not there because we are still trying to find the best way how we include this. But we do have three general rules when we are using AI, and this is one of the challenges. Human oversight always. I mean, this can be really simple and easy when you hear it, but when people start using AI, and when they find how easy sometimes is, they forget that they need to oversight it, because it's getting the job for them. The first time they checked what the AI done, they seen it's good, and they start believe AI immediately. So believing AI is the first mistake as a journalist that you can do without checking. Many of the previous speakers mentioned the hallucination. So to avoid to fall into the trap of hallucination of AI, you must always follow this rule: human oversight always. You can't get to be lazy on this. The second one is full disclosure, that whether you're using AI or not, when you are. For example, we have just produced one storytelling article with using illustration from Midjourney, and there was a huge discussion among us how we're going to credit this. In the end, we credited to Midjourney, and it's full disclosure that we have used Midjourney to create this illustration, and this is on every single. If you're using Adobe Firefly, for example, Firefly is having this watermark that it's created by using the Adobe Firefly artificial intelligence. And at the end, the third one that is also really important, and it's again challenge, is full responsibility always for everyone that is using AI in any type of content production or story finding situation, or data analysis situation. You can't. I mean, it's really good to have huge chunk of data analyzed by AI, but you really need to always have full responsibility for what are you're publishing. So I think that these are really important challenges that each newsroom is facing, especially small newsroom. As I don't know if Vika or Mallick said, we don't have many editors, so we can have for checking. I know, like for example, The Economist, they are going through 7 steps of editing when till the story is published. We don't have that commodity. We usually have 1, 2, and that's it. It's published. So that's why when you're a small newsroom, you really need to stick to this rule even more to overcome the challenges of you using the AI in a wrong way.
Awesome, thanks, Mite. I'm going to go through a couple of questions that we have here from participants. One question here says, how can you bring in AI and LLMs into your newsroom on your own? Is there something that you guys have thought of, Mite?
No, I think Mallick have more experience in this.
Mallick?
Okay, it really depends. I think it's an economical question rather than a technical question at this point. For example, how many people would you want to have access to, to the platform? What comes to mind really immediately is the OpenAI platform. Like recently, they have introduced the assistants. So it really simulates the retrieval augmented generation, in the sense that it will work on the information that you feed the platform. For instance, we are experimenting on another project with Deutsche Welle. It's an AI fellowship. We are experimenting on the Malawi national budget. So if you feed the assistant with information related to the national budget of your country, then you can simply ask how much is the allocation for social expenditure. Then you can prompt it in natural language to generate a graph based on the allocations or the votes that you would want the chatbot or the platform to assess for you, and it can happen. So it really depends on what kind of story you're working on. And for that particular one, it can work for a number of people, but there is a limitation. Each one of you should have a paid account for OpenAI, but there is a hack to that. If you want the system to work, you can have access to it through the API. Then using a platform such as Babel, which is a no-code platform, you can then make an API call to that Babel platform, and you create an app on the Babel platform, and the rest of your team, whether it's 50 people or whatever it may be, can access the platform. So, but then there will be budget implication, in the sense that you will need to pay Babel for, like, is it $20 per month? Then for each API call that will be made, you will need to also pay OpenAI for that, which is rather on the low side. But like I said, it's an economical question, because it's something that you can learn on YouTube. It's something that you can be advised on WhatsApp, and you can do it. I did it like in a day. So I believe that most people can do it in 2 days at most, 1 week at most, even for those that are not tech savvy. So yeah, it's a difficult question to answer. I just made an attempt. I hope my colleagues can assist.
I mean, you did a bit, Mallick, and you made me wonder, where are you getting all this money for a small newsroom? But we'll leave that for another day. Another question here from Katie Rink says, how do you deal with the issue of IP where tools have been developed in collaboration? I'm not sure who can take that.
So it's about the intellectual properties rights. Right. I mean, in Macedonia, right now, we don't have anyone who is going to regulate this. I mean, even on the international scale, it's really unclear what you can actually say that it's produced by you or it's produced by AI or to whom the intellectual properties are. There was one definition that FCC at the beginning. FCC is the Federal Communication Agency or in the United States. There was a definition that like the amount of work that you put in the prompt engineering is the one that is going to decide whether actually the thing that you have produced with the artificial intelligence is produced by you, or it's clearly just by the artificial intelligence. And it's really hard how is going to, like, to which extent, like, we're going to judge, okay, this is enough prompt engineering, so we can say that this image that we have created or edit of a text that we have created is actually done by us. As I said, we are trying to say that some of the things that are created in those articles that we are, or if it's audiovisual, because we do a lot of mostly audiovisual stories, we do tend to be fully transparent when in some parts some of the AI is used. As I said, for Adobe Firefly, I think that it's pretty much clear because they use the Adobe stock. They have the pictures and vectors and everything in their Adobe stock database, and they are I think building a way how to compensate the original artists who designed those things, on which when you prompt engineer something happens. So right now, the things that we are usually doing is that just fully disclose that we have used this type of tool to create this, and this is the result. The intellectual property rights, especially in Macedonia right now, it's really out of the box for the discussion, because like we still are trying to figure out what is happening with the AI in the world and to catch up with that. But we do a lot of things to be on the safe side as a small newsroom, so we don't want to be let's sue that. For example, we have been stealing some work. We are trying to do everything in our playbook that we have to be safe on the intellectual property rights. We usually don't go with like, this is the picture and put it there and telling that it's our, so it's not.
Awesome, thanks, Mite. One more question from the participants here. Does AI created content need plagiarism check? Ika, I don't know how you guys go about this now with the conversation.
Yes, actually, we have touched upon that before, right? The importance of human oversights, because like during the process of building microsite, so we try to generate this bullet 5 format. So even though like it's sort of a very instant process when we just put the text there, like 800-word articles, and we got in return like 5 bullets, main points from the text. There are some inaccuracies there that we have to correct. So that show on how the importance of a human editors to be able to also check and recheck all the work to make sure that all is correct. So yeah, I think it's very important.
Mallick, do you want to weigh in there or not?
Yeah, I think there are several ways to, if you want to use an algorithm to do it. Yeah, there are ways that I know of that can really be done. But I think most importantly is what Mite said earlier on. I think we really don't need to over-delegate some of these tasks. We need to give our stories or our journalism a human touch still. So there are certain things that we should jealously guard as human journalists, so that we don't overcrowd our journalism with technology. And Tshepo, just to go back to your concluding remark the other time about the cost. I know time is not on our side. Really, I was scared before I got into the academy. I thought AI was really this very expensive project that we're going to embark on, but efficiency gains that we could get from use of AI really surpassed by far perhaps the cost that we could use. So, but also most AI tools that I know of provide a window period for free usage, so that cost should not deter people from experimenting. I really want to encourage people to get cost aside, experiment with the free windows that are provided by most providers. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome, thanks, thanks, Mallick. That's a really important point, that costs should not prohibit people from experimenting. Most of these platforms do have free versions that you can play around with, and then obviously you can decide thereafter whether you want to pay for a version or not. I want us to close off the session on a positive note, and I'm keen to hear from all of you about where the opportunities and benefits are for AI in small newsrooms. Where are you seeing them? Where are you looking to find these opportunities for your respective newsrooms? Mite, we can start with you.
Okay. I think that as a small newsroom, we really should not be scared of experimenting, as Mallick and Anika pointed previously, and see this opportunity as a chance, even in a small newsroom, journalists to have their own assistant. They can chat with it. They can try to analyze the data with it. It depends on what type of usage of AI you want. But at the end is something like that. Imagine like having an assistant that can ease your work. And for us as a small newsroom that is especially focused on telling a story of underreported community, it's really important every single second that we are going to save by using AI to tell more compelling stories about the marginalized and marginalized, vulnerable and marginalized community that we are reporting on. And this is, I think, the main drive that we have in our small newsroom when we are even facing some reluctance of some people to use AI. You just tell them like, but if you use this, you're going to have more time to put work on the things that really matters to you. And this is at the end why we should embrace, again with a lot of caution, but embrace the use of AI in the in the small newsroom. It's make you having more capacity to do more of the things that you're already doing.
Mallick, where are you seeing areas of opportunities for your newsroom?
I think competitiveness is one of them. Speaking from experience, I think you can be able to really use AI to as a launch pad to greater things. Like I said earlier on, the efficiency gains, they are just enormous, and some of the things that you can accomplish are quite significant. And talk of collaboration, like our newsroom is quite small, but we are in partnership with one of Malawi's two major newspapers that we are working on several projects, and AI is coming up as one of the components that we are going to add to our partnership. So for us as a small newsroom that is working as an agency for this newsroom in terms of digital media support, adding artificial intelligence will also add the revenue that we are going to generate. So there are opportunities that are there for media startups, and competitive edge is one of them. There are people that have this assumption that because AI is almost everywhere, everyone has access to ChatGPT, therefore it's really not going to be a force to be reckoned with. That's a fallacy, because once you have domain knowledge in terms of journalism, and you have awareness of prompt engineering, which is journalism driven and is shaped to champion a journalistic narrative, then you have an edge over an ordinary ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is an amazing tool, but as bland as it is, without prompt engineering, without proper direction and guidance, I mean, it might be as useless as well. So it's a tool that can be shaped and be driven by those that are shaping its use. So competitive edge is something that I look at AI in a small newsroom.
Ika, where are the opportunities for the conversation in Indonesia?
Well, as a small newsroom, I think what we do after is, being effective and efficient news organization. And I believe AI can really help us in that areas, being more effective and efficient, not only on how we produce content, but also in the management side. This is something that probably not many of us discuss about it, but how AI can also sort of help building a very streamlined workflows that could be also very helpful for news organization which doesn't have so many resources to automate some of the work, so we can, like Mite say, focus on the work that matters, that is also important for us. So I think that's one of the benefit of using AI, on how we as a small newsroom can focus on being effective and more effective and efficient organization that can be able to optimize our work for the society. I think that's from my end.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to give you 30 seconds or 10 seconds each, advice you would give to other small newsrooms considering using AI. What advice would you give them? 10 seconds each. We'll start with Mallick. What advice would you give to small newsrooms thinking of using AI?
I think go out there, experiment. So long as you are not putting it out there, experiment, make those mistakes, and you'll be frustrated. I've been frustrated, but make those mistakes behind closed doors, figure out the solutions and get your prototypes tested and seek validation from colleagues. Then when it's validated, then take it out there and have fun.
Mite?
You're still on mute, I think, Mite.
I'm again muted. Okay. I would say that it should start with changing of the culture. If there is a reluctance inside the newsroom of towards AI, so it should start with the cultural change inside, and we should be aware of that. We shouldn't miss this technological disruption of the media, as we missed the previous disruption that happened. That's like the search revolution, then the internet revolution, previously the mobile revolution. We, as a media, we always miss the disruption, and we were not involved from the very beginning. And I will encourage, no matter how small you think your newsroom is, it's really important to start from the very beginning when this disruption is happening. And that's why I think the change of the culture inside the newsroom is one of the thing. Always know that AI is not the one who can create content, but can create journalism, at least not right now. So we are just going to use it towards our advantage, so we can make more time to do the things that are really important to us.
Ika?
So I can share like 3 important lessons that I gathered during my process building the microsite. First of all is, it's clear how policy is important. Having a clear policy on AI is important. So if I may share that after the academy, I'm trusted to draft AI guidelines for this Indonesia Digital Media Association with 400 members. So we are really, really grateful to have that kind of policy to help us sort of guide us on how we can work with AI for our work as journalists in Indonesia, digital journalists in Indonesia. That's one of the things that I'm very grateful from having attended the academy. The second one is, besides of having this clear policy, is also involving people from different skill set in the news organization to make sure that, like I said before, to make the project works, I think it's important to involve teams from different departments. That's one of the things that I also learned. And the third one is, we know that it's still important for human to take control, because human oversight is really important in this matter. That's basically what I want to share.
I like that. Thank you so much to Mallick, Mite, and Ika. I see in the comment there that there's an opportunity there with legitimate free tools. So do look at the comment in the chat for you guys, and of course for any other small newsrooms that are looking for opportunities. But that draws us to the end of this session on small newsrooms. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for sharing your insights. This was informative, and I hope you guys and the participants have learned a thing or two from these small newsrooms. Of course, we'll be running additional programs in the next year, so do stay connected to our newsletter for details on this. Thank you again, Mallick, Mite, and Ika. Thank you so much.